Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today I have got a PS5 and the customer has damaged the fan connector. So it will need some trace repair done. If we lift this up, it has been into as well, so don't have to go right into it. But first let's see if it is turning on and displaying and going into a white light before I continue, so they don't blame me for a no power. Okay, and see if it's got a white light. Oh, okay, yep. It just took a while to turn on then, which was quite scary. There was no beep. Does sound like they've got a game in there. Does it go to a white light and display? I'll let you know if it does. That's taken a very, very long time. That's not going into a white light. Oh, it is displaying. Lovely. That can be arrested. Perfect. Alright. He's actually lucky because let me take I'll leave. Actually, it's not actually been opened, which is good because all this is still glued down. But if we look under the microscope now and see how bad the damage is, right, so as you can see, all the pads are luckily there. That's a ground that goes to that via there, which is still mostly there, and you've got this pad that's lifted off, which goes to these vias here. But we need to sort out these ground planes here really, so I'm gonna try and do something that I've seen people do but I've never actually done it myself, and that is putting a bit of solder wick across from there to there so it creates a ground point, and on here I'll have to try and do it slightly at an angle so it stays. This I'm gonna cut off, I think, or I could just leave it there as long as it's, yeah, I'll leave that there. Hopefully I'll be able to put a put some solder down onto it. I should be able to. So first let me grind either side of the ground plane. And same with the other side. I didn't realise that's come off as well. Slightly on that side. Okay, so now that's done, I've now got to trim off a bit of solder wick. I think I've got a nice size wick here actually. And just trim off a bit this big. And same again on the other side. Might be a bit big, I might have to trim it down a little bit more. But let's have a look, see if it's the correct length. Yeah, it's a little bit big, so I'll trim it down a little. Yeah, I think that's good. Now I've got to douse that with flux and add solder to it. I have got the shakes this morning. It always seems like I get it in the morning. Some tweezers, which are there. May or may not be enough flux. For some reason, it's not letting go of my tweezers. Let go of my tweezers. Oh my god. That'll do. So now if I get loads of solder onto my iron. And hopefully I could get this down. Right, that's partially down, which is good. Let's see if we can add loads of solder onto it. I think I may need a bigger tip to transfer the heat. Yeah, it needs a bigger tip. Just like that. So now we have a ground plane. Just make sure it's pressed down so it's nice and flat. Or as flat as can be. And now I need to do the same to the other side, but at a slight angle. That seems to be okay. The reason why it's got a bit of slight angle is I don't want it touching these wires. So around there is good. Yep. Add a bit of flux. So I am going to add some wire across here, just so I can easily solder it onto the connector. Perfect. Now let me clean it up. I just want to see if there is continuity going from that pad to there because of that crack there. So if I go into beat mode, Should be able to hear that. I need to sort out my microscope. It's very wobbly. Right, if we hear a beep both ends, I'm happy. Yeah, it's still connected, and it's not connected to ground. Fantastic. Okay. So now I'm going to add conformal coating. Try and hold it all down. So I'll just put a splodge down here a second. Right, and what I do want to do actually is cover these just in case, just there. Just so it doesn't short out, which it shouldn't do. Now cover all of this. Now this one might be a bit of a pain because it's not going to hold down, is it? It's not going to stay down. No. Okay, well that end one there is going to need holding down somehow. But we'll just cure that here for now. So what I'm doing is, you can see I'm using a UV lamp to cure the solder mask. While that's curing, let's try and get this connector off this fan. Okay, that was nice and easy. So, and clean up these pads. So I'm going to add a bit of flux onto it. I am almost out of flux, but I've got more. It's actually hard to do with one hand. And I do want to prepare or prep these legs and stuff. So let me just get a bit more flux on it. Okay, that's now got flux. Now let's add some solder to them. Right. Okay, now if we go back under the microscope, we can now see the cured area. So that is nice and solid. Now I'm going to use my grinding pen to grind back the new traces or the tracks. I think this one will be okay. Right, now I'm going to tin them up. Perfect. Do wish I could clamp that down, but it should be alright. Once the connector's soldered down, it should be alright. Right, so if I place the connector here, first I'm going to try and solder the ground part, which would be there. And you guys can't really see it, I'm afraid. But I need a bit of flux this side. I'll show you once one side's soldered down. Trying to get it lined up perfectly. maybe here. Alright, that's one soldered down. Now I've got to solder the other side. And that is the connector, hopefully being really solid. Now I've just got to solder the legs down to the trace repaired bits. But yeah, that's solid. That ain't going nowhere. Now these pads have slipped, so that I think it probably needs to go to the left a little bit more, but I think it'll be all right. So that needs to go left a tad. Damn it. I am extremely shaky when it's stupid. Don't know why. But that looks like it's soldered on. That's going to be soldered on. And that's going to be soldered on. Try and tidy up that little bit first. There you go, that looks pretty good. Now solder the next one on. And then the last one. Lovely, I think that's done. Give it a quick clean up and then test for diode readings. I will use a brush afterwards, but let's quickly just check the diode readings. If we are getting correct readings. And none of it shorted. So diode mode, red probe on ground, and the first one we're getting 0.4, second one ground, and third one 0.1 and rising. I'm assuming that's fine. Let's make sure that they're not ground. This one's not to ground, which it's not. It's not shorted. Lovely. Is that one supposed to be ground? Middle is supposed to be ground. And that last one's not shorted to ground either. So in theory, it should work. And that looks like a nice, solid port. Very, very solid. Okay, so now I guess it's time to clean it up properly and see if the fan works. Right, so this is now right. Now let's test to see if it works. Power is in. Give it 5 seconds to allow the boot sequence to complete. And here we go. Boom, it works. Absolutely fantastic. And that is a solid port. That's not going to come off easily. I will tell the customer to make sure he uses his finger to hold the connector down while lifting it off. But yeah, that's great news. I hope it lines up with the chassis actually. So let me shut it down, get it together, and we'll try again. As you can see, the port actually looks really central, so happy days. Okay, so that's it put back together. It's got my warranty stickers on there, just in case they decide to open it up. And now a final test to see if it works still. Displays, fan spins, which I know it will, but it's worth a try again. Plug in the HDMI. And let's see if the fan is going to spin. You'll have to look very carefully. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you see it spin up then. And it does go to a white light. We tested it before, put it back together. I do see the PS logo on the screen. And yeah, it's working great. And there you go. So that's one fixed PS5. You can still see the fan spinning. So that's great. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I am nearly at 1,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone who has got me this far. It's been a great journey so far. Love the interactions, the comments, everything. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.